what is disturbing here? It is normally the bureaucracy that is used to silence voices. This time it is a university that is repressing academic freedom, albeit its administrative arm. An institution which is supposed to advocate, defend free thought and speech, encourage scholarly engagement in issues, apparently has tamely surrendered to the violent tactics of a pressure group, and in the process it has negated all that has been enshrined in its more than 150 years of history. This angle has also been enough explored and condemned. What I would like to draw your attention to today is three aspects. Actually, I am going to contradict what has been said earlier both by Professor Pushpa Bhave and MISTRY'S message. First, the inexplicable silence from all quarters in the initial stages. I first read the report in HT, Hindustan Times, of Friday, September 17. Perhaps other papers also published it around the same time. After that, the first big splash was in the first week of October. The two articles by Arun Tikekar, October 2nd and 3rd, and my own article on the 3rd in Hindustan Times. Subsequently, more and more papers have got into the act. Online petitions followed suit. City luminaries have expressed their anger and anguish, and here we are holding a protest meeting. The book is such a long journey. Did it deserve such a long silence in its defense? B. This directly leads to another more disturbing aspect. In this period of silence, when indignation was conspicuous by its absence, when colleges received and quietly followed the diktats of university faxes and circulars regarding the inexplicable withdrawal of the book more than halfway through the term, the analogy that came to my mind was chilling. It was as if the book never existed. Just like the many stories of disappearances we have heard of from behind the Iron Curtain. Was it so easy to erase a book from students' and teachers' memories? To pretend we have not taught the book for the last so many years without any protest from any group? Was it so easy to give up on it and to use a favorite cliched phrase these days, move on? Some rumblings in the safe confines of classrooms, yes, perhaps. But a concerted howl of protest? No. And this, the third and final aspect, is to my mind the most disturbing. The peculiar silence from the staff rooms of our various colleges. Now, Professor Pushpa Bhave has praised the teaching fraternity for responding. MISTRY has echoed the sentiments. But I'm sharing this as an insider, perhaps to be condemned as a whistleblower. And I would like to say straight away that there could be colleagues out there who have been as disturbed as those right here, and I'll be very happy to be proved wrong in my observations. What follows does not apply to them, but the largely lukewarm, almost non-existent response from my fraternity in this matter is the most shattering part to those of us in the teaching community. The University of Mumbai Academic Staff Association, UMASA, has issued its protest statement only last week. Even today, I wonder how many departments other than the English are mulling over the matter. This has to do with the English syllabus, with students who have opted for English ancillary with the postponement of paper 3 English. So my supervision duty for that paper is also postponed. That is all. Again, to my knowledge, only one principal has seen fit to question what has happened. Discretion, indeed, is the better part of valor. If any discussions have taken place behind closed doors, we teachers have not been kept in the loop. A senior colleague, also happens to be a member of the Board of Studies, to whom I express my anger, sincerely believes that only those who have done English literature can appreciate the niceties of great books. Others cannot appreciate literary work, and therefore this unfortunate chain of events. What a sweeping and false generalization. The passive response of most English departments has been the most shocking revelation and belies the above claim. We are not teaching the book. That seems justification enough not to get involved in the matter. In fact, a friend here assumed I was teaching the book and would be sharing that experience with you all here. Do I have to teach the book to realize the consequences of not being allowed to teach it? I don't think so. This is not about a book or a subject or a department. It is about the infringement of certain fundamental rights and about undemocratic ways of functioning. We have been teaching our students year after year the famous debate between Plato and Aristotle on the nature and function of literature. Plato, the prosecutor, wishes to ban immoral, inflammatory literature from his republic, while Aristotle, the defendant, refutes his own master's voice and gives art its unique place untrammeled by politics, ethics or morality. We pose questions in the exams, assess the answers, and then forget the whole issue. I've completed my syllabus, have given them excellent notes on the whole argument, told them how relevant it is even today. And when the moment comes where I have to put my money where my mouth is, mum is the word. Can't help recollecting Beckett's words in an essay on censorship in Ireland. It's called Censorship in the Sourstadt. I quote, "Sterilization of the mind and apotheosis of the litter suit well together," unquote. Mark Twain has said that the average man is a coward, and the average academic, is this because of fear or apathy or both? Can we survive and function in such a climate? Let me raise a few questions, more in anxiety than in anger. In fact, Professor Bave has already answered one of my questions. Is this the beginning of the end of freedom of thought and expression in our university? Will non-academic criteria influence the selection of texts? Does this mean our students cannot study writers who critique vested interests of various sorts? Can we study any book without constantly looking over our shoulder for policing of various hues? And finally, what kind of signals are we sending out to our students regarding tolerance, civilized forms of protest, and the tradition of debating and sorting out contentious issues instead of bludgeoning our point through? This is a time for self-introspection among the teaching fraternity. I'd like to end with the Irish writer Sean O'Fallon's warning. Censorship, I quote, "Censorship is directed against every man who takes life seriously, who takes art and culture seriously, by those who establish in place of thought a rigid orthodoxy that no man must even discuss, let alone question or deny. For any man to say, to be pleased, that nobody cares about that is, in the absolutely literal sense, to take leave of his senses. It is to prepare the way for the handing over of all power to the caucus and the mob," unquote. Thank you.